Just when we thought things couldn't get any hotter in the UAAP Women's Basketball Tournament, think again. The NU Lady Bulldogs may have advanced into the finals matchup, but they are still waiting for their contender as the UP Fighting Maroons force a rubber match. Game number 2 against the UST Growling Tigresses after today's overtime thriller. And of course, joining us to break down all the action is UAAP basketball analyst Danica Jose. Welcome back to the game, Idol. UAAP legend, by the way. UAAP legend. So Danica, let's talk about the NU Ateneo matchup first before we move on to that UP UST crazy second game of today's Final Four. But for NU, you know, they really asserted their dominance today against Ateneo.
That's right. NU was really showed an all-around performance against Ateneo this morning. They really asserted dominance, not to mention that they had that championship experience. They really showed it. And of course, it's not only led by one player, which makes NU very dangerous because 12 players actually scored in the game earlier. Wow. So that says a lot about the character of this team.
How important is this for a team like the NU Lady Bulldogs, who's already gunning for their 8th championship?
Wow. Yeah, you know, knowing Coach Aris, I'm sure that he wants to bag another championship with the NU team. He's trying to build a program around this new team. A lot of young guns. I think there were 6-7 rookies in his team right now. So even if they're such a young team, they really showed a lot of dominance, strength, and really willpower in showing that we're still at the top. We're still a very dangerous team. And definitely a team to watch out for.
Right. You know, sometimes we forget that, you know, they're still the defending champions. Yes. And they're also, you know, even if there's no sweep, last year walang sweep, this year walang sweep, but NU is still the team to beat. They're the #1 team for a reason. They had 42 starter points compared to 43 of Ateneo. Pero yung bench points nila made the difference. 16 bench points for NU. Ateneo had none. Talk about that in terms of the depth of NU.
Yeah, you know that NU has a really deep bench. Like what we mentioned, 12 players scored in today's game. So in terms of the rotation of Coach Aris, he doesn't necessarily have to rely on his first 5. So at least there's a lot of fresh legs whenever they do the press. On the defensive end, laging mapapalitan. The level of intensity and energy that these teams have, especially for NU, really shows a lot, especially for crucial games like this.
Pero syempre, NU, you know, although they won that game, there was a special moment after the game also for an Atenean. Jasmine Hoson, you both are Ateneans. She had a very great, I guess, gesture from the UAAP community, the women's community as well, as she made her final appearance as a Blue Eagle.
That's right, Jasmine Hoson, one of the key leaders, and of course the team captain of Coach L.A. Mumor's team. And of course, Jasmine Hoson, of course, definitely had a wonderful UAAP career. She led the team not just in scoring, but of course for creating for her teammates, orchestrating the offense. So Jas really had an amazing basketball career. She actually led the assist department in the UAAP this season. So it really says a lot about her leadership for the team.
Beautiful gesture. They circled around her. Even the NU team circled around her.
Correct.
So.
That's why. Very sportsmanship. It's something we love to see, definitely, on the court. But let's move over to the other matchup that everybody was like dying for, screaming for, the UST-UP match.
Wow. I was watching that game earlier, and for UP to actually catch up in the second half, they were down by as much as 20 points in the first half. And for UP to limit UST to only 9 points in the third quarter, that was really an amazing performance from this young team. And they really showed how much they want to be part of the Final Four. The last time that UP was part of the Final Four was back in 2008. So that was 15 years ago. So just imagine the historical achievement that this team was able to show in season 86.
I mean, are we even surprised that this UP-UST matchup became a historic game like this one? A beautiful comeback, went to overtime. Kasi nung round 1 and round 2, they also had close matchups. Also in overtime, 73-69 in the first round, and then 74-72 in the second round. So when you talk about UP coming back in this game, how did they do it? Because, you know, sometimes in the Final Four, when you're down 20, sometimes, you know, Tas twice to beat pa ang UST.
I think it took a lot of heart and, of course, the willpower to actually not give up on every play. Because you know that UST, they're actually the #1 offensive team in the league. They average 88 points per game. They're actually #1 as well in fast breaks, in converting turnovers to scoring opportunities. They're #1 in points in the paint as well, in 3 points. So you know that this is a solid team, this UST team. But for UP to actually rattle them a bit in the third quarter, they had a much tighter defense. They were smothering them in every possession. It actually gave UST like a realization na, oh, grabe, parang ang bilis, dumidikit na yung UP, diba? Na parang nakita nila 9 points lang yung na-score ng UST in the third quarter. And then parang in every possession, they were trying to execute their system. They were playing like a solid unit. So props to UP. They played one heck of a game today.
So I was telling you earlier off air na parang, you know, it has been the recurring theme every time that we talk about women's basketball here at the game na UP talaga, like, abangan niyo yan, Final Four. And now that they're here, do you think it's still surprising people how, you know, after 15 years, this squad made it to the top 4? And once they made it, they pushed the game this intense and then forced another game, a do-or-die game.
I think it also says a lot about their character as a team. The culture that Coach Paul Ramos is trying to instill in these...
Naging coach mo rin, of
Yes.
course.
In high school and college. So I would really know how inspiring Coach Paul's words are, especially before the game. He would constantly remind these players why they're here, their passion, their purpose, and everything. So for this team to have like a solid foundation as early as now, talagang it would take you in the long run, as in here in the Final Four, you extended another game against a UST. So I'm very excited to see what's in store for Saturday's game.
So you talked about Coach Paul, but let's talk about the players. Grabe. Favor Ono with a record-breaking 30 rebounds. I think the most, even in men's, 30 rebounds.
That's a lot.
Ono.
That's a lot.
Since it was computerized yung stats natin dito sa UAAP. So let's talk about her and of course Luna Ozar. And yung mga standouts din ng UST because you will never know what's gonna happen in Game 2 of this Final Four match.
That's right. We know that the season has been a whirlwind of sorts. Diba? There was a lot of twists and turns, overtimes, close game, down by 20, and then they end up winning the game. So Favor Ono, actually, it's her birthday today. So it's definitely a birthday game for Favor Ono for breaking out with 30 rebounds, 14 points. But another player that is worth highlighting is Luna Ozar, rookie star of
Amazing.
UP.
Yes.
She actually had 25 points, but what's crucial about Luna's game was that she scored 7 points in overtime. So that was really critical for UP to actually talagang lumayo na talaga sila to pull away against UST.
And quickly, you know, yung UST, Kent Pastrana, of course, finished with 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. So expect her to also lead the way for UST in the next game.
Definitely. Thank you, Danica, for sharing your time and insights with us today. Kaya napaka-excited na kami para panoorin sa Sabado. Do or die.
Thank you, Danica.
Thank you, Danica.
Thank you.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all the time. Download Pilipinas Live now.